Alrighty, welcome back to the show. And I am here with Dr. Traynor. Welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me.
You're welcome. What inspired you to become a professional in the field of psychology?
I imagine that my inspiration story is not typical because I decided in grade school that I wanted to be a psychologist. I think I was in 8th grade and I was an avid reader, and I found myself drawn to these stories about teenagers who were going through really tough challenges, whether that was an eating disorder or depression or what we would now call bullying or divorce or relationship problems or an issue with a best friend. I was just drawn to those stories, and often in those stories, the person would end up in therapy with a helper. And while I had my own challenges, as every teen does, I found myself drawn to that process and wanting to be the helper.
Wow. In your experience, how common is anxiety among your patients, and what are some of the more common mental health issues you come across in your profession?
Anxiety is definitely common. I would say that for both adults and youth, depression, anxiety are the most common. Depression being number one. Some self-esteem, maybe attention. It's a high-speed world, lots of demands. But I would say that in addition to depression and anxiety, right up there with them is substance use, marijuana, alcohol, tobacco, vaping, whether it's vaping nicotine or THC. I think they're all pretty common. I did bring some statistics, which is why I have my piece of paper, because I would never remember all of this. So 2021 data, National Survey of Drug Use and Health, right? So a really big national study estimated that 1 in 10 adults, right, 21 million adults in the US experienced at least one episode of major depression, which is a little over 8% of the population. 60% roughly got treatment. But among young people, 12 to 17, an estimated 5 million adolescents, and that's 20% of adolescents, right? 1 in 5, and only 40% got treatment. Here in Delaware, among high school students that same year, 2021, 35% of high school students said their mental health was not good, either most or all of the time. So it's a lot. Now, what I would add is that sometimes in adolescence, right, it's a time of fun, but it can be really stressful. You're expected to learn so much. And when really one of the most important things is your peer relationships and what you're going to do that evening or on the weekend. But you're also trying to figure out who you are. You're moving away from your parents, closer to your friends. And there's a whole lot of alluring things out there that are risky. So I would also say that if someone is feeling overwhelmed by just life, that's still a reason to talk to somebody. It doesn't have to be serious depression.
Mm-hmm. I'm not trying to bring it on to me, but I would also like to say that I'm a senior in high school, and throughout the 4 years that I've been in high school, the times where I was sad and stuff, I kind of just told other people how I felt. And within therapy, within talking with close teachers of mine, I would just tell them how I feel and everything, just to get out the feelings.
Mm-hmm. And then you feel a little less alone with the weight of it.
Yeah, because I feel like if I'm just keeping it in, it's more of a weight that's just going on and on.
Mm-hmm.
Um, what is something you wish more people understood about mental health?
Number one, that depression doesn't look the same for young people as it does for adults, right? I think we often think depression means I can't get out of bed, I'm crying, I'm sad, I'm hopeless and helpless every day. And sometimes it does look like that. But often for young people, it might look like substance use. It might look like angry and irritable. It might look like just withdrawing from normal activities or what they used to do. So that would be one thing. Depression doesn't always mean sad. It might mean something else or look like something else. Number two, I would say that there seems to be this dichotomy between physical and mental health. I think one benefit from COVID was that I think it was a little more acceptable to say, I'm feeling anxious or overwhelmed and I want to go talk to somebody. But I still think in physical health, if you're in pain, you've got a fever, you're vomiting, I think everyone accepts that you can go to the doctor and try to find a way to feel better, right? But if you just don't feel good, you don't feel like yourself emotionally, mentally, it doesn't seem as easy to say, I need to go talk to somebody to try to find some help. A couple quick little things I would add is find the right therapist if you're going to go find a therapist, right? And don't give up on therapy altogether as a concept because the first person you try isn't the right fit, right? When you go to your pediatrician, you're not going to spend an hour with them and you don't have to really love them, right? But if you're going to go bare your soul to someone, it helps to feel a connection. So find the right person. And then the other thing I'd add is don't give up on it because it's uncomfortable, because uncomfortable is how things get better.
Yeah. And I've been going to therapy and throughout I want to say 6th grade to now, and it has helped me so much. Either just getting my feelings out so I won't feel the pressure, and or just somebody who I've known for years who has that connection with me.
Mm-hmm. You know, I've often told adults, right, who were asking about therapy for kids, even if it's not a serious problem now, it might help to have that person on deck, right? Mm-hmm. So that when that bigger problem happens, you have somebody you're comfortable with to talk to. I would also add, youth are amazingly resilient, right? Amazingly resilient. I see young people make changes in their life and feel better with a whole lot less time than adults sometimes, because they're more open to possibility, I think.
Thank you for sharing that. Do you have any advice for youth and young adults struggling with mental health issues?
Advice for young folks, yes. Talk to someone. You're not alone. Be kind to yourself. Reach out. And do not believe the myth that alcohol or marijuana is going to make things feel better, because it's going to get in the way of learning the skills you really need. And then I would also add that for the adults, a couple things to think about. You're not going to make someone more depressed or anxious by asking how they feel. You're not going to make someone suicidal if you ask if they've thought about self-harm. But you may open the door to a conversation that leads to a young person getting help. I'd add, be present. Listen, just keep letting that young person know you're there, you care, and you're listening. And the last thing would be, don't dismiss. It's so easy to want to be helpful and say, oh, it's nothing. Oh, you're exaggerating. Oh, it wasn't like that. It'll all be okay. and just sort of dismiss the feelings rather than reflect back what you're hearing.
Thank you. My final question I have for you tonight is, what is one mental health related action people can take at the start of their day to get off on the right foot?
I think I heard so many fabulous ideas already this evening. I don't know how much I can add. I would say think about a fishbowl. There's only so much space for water, right? If you just keep putting more and more and more water in there, it's going to overflow. Same with stress. So you just keep adding and piling on top, something's going to leak out. So what can you do to relieve stress? Figure out what works for you. Is it drawing? Is it painting? Is it meditating? Is it music? Are you going to start your day with music that's going to make you feel anxious? Or are you going to start your day with music that's going to calm and soothe, right? So I would say make time every day for something that feels good. And scrolling on social media, if it doesn't make you feel good, is probably not what you want to do with your 10 minutes of free time.
Yeah, thank you.